going, and we want to have a conversation about that. We're talking about something called tech in Ghana. Tech in Ghana. I really don't know much about tech in Ghana, which is why I have in the studios a number of great individuals to help me do that, answer that question about tech in Ghana and the bigger tech conversation. Victor Banama, Chief Strategy Officer, ESAL, is here, and also Joanna Steele, Organizer, Tech in Ghana, Managing Partner, DMAX, and Augustine Home, Digital Marketing Lead, ESAL. Gentlemen and lady, welcome to Z101.9 FM.
Thank you.
Much.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me start with Joanna. Tech in Ghana. What is Tech in Ghana?
So the Tech in Ghana conference happened this week on Tuesday and Wednesday at the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel.
Okay.
And it's a conference that has been going since 2017, founded by a UK Ghanaian lady, Akosua Annabelle. And the whole idea behind Tech in Ghana was and is to build and strengthen the tech ecosystem by bringing all the ecosystem players together. So governmental institutions, founders of startups, students, developers, individuals, everyone who has a stake in the tech ecosystem, and bring them together to have discussions, learn from each other, to collaborate and build partnerships as well. So the Tech in Ghana conference is held twice a year, once in London and once in Accra. I mean, like I mentioned, we just had the Accra version, and it was the 14th edition of the Tech in Ghana conference this week.
Okay. 2 a year, 7 years, so 14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ghana, London.
Yes.
And you've been part of it from day one?
So I am the founder of DIMAX, which is a digital marketing agency. So we've been on board since 2020.
Okay.
So that was during COVID, where obviously we were all at home, but we still ran the conference as an online conference during that year.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been on board since 2020, and yeah, the Tech in Ghana conference is growing from strength to strength.
You would say it was successful?
This week?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Sold out. If you go online and see the conversations and the feedback around people's experiences, yeah, it's been phenomenal. This week was definitely phenomenal.
Okay, so let me come to the gentlemen. Ladies first, so yeah, now we come to the gentlemen. What is the current state of Ghana's tech ecosystem, and if you can run us through what are the strengths and the weaknesses within our tech ecosystem?
So actually, I'm gonna throw us through a little bit of a tailspin.
Please do, feel free.
Because the reality for me is that I even feel like the concept of tech in Ghana is a bit of a misnomer. Somebody should tell me a business that isn't tech-enabled in this town right now. If you want Wachi in Accra, you can order Wachi on Bolt, on any platform. If you can't, chances are you will WhatsApp someone who will go and pick up the Wachi for you, right, and deliver it to your house, right? And all of that is happening enabled by tech. If you buy from the market and use Momo to pay, that's tech enablement. So for me, for instance, ESAL, eServices Africa's desire to be associated with tech in Ghana as a platform, because it's more than an event conference. It's essentially a platform.
Okay.
Akosua has built something incredible that will outlive her, and will really. I mean, I just heard that next year it's going to be in Kumasi, which is also just going to be great because it's really important that we start to
spread it out of Accra.
Take the whole concept that Ghana is Accra, right?
Okay.
Because Ghana is a lot more than Accra. Accra technically is nobody's home.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, even if you're a Ghana, I mean, you have to be honest with yourself. Accra is not even where we're from. We're all from the little Kuchu, across this city,
true.
right?
It's true.
So I think that's a really important step. Technology in Ghana right now, I think we are at interesting crossroads, right? We have technology that's available anywhere in the world. I mean, everything from having the fastest possible internet, Starlink being available, meaning that you have satellite access, 4G connectivity. Look, even in terms of healthcare, the stuff that can be done today, that's all technology, you know. We tend to like pigeonhole what technology is, but it's all part and parcel of what we do, what we're looking for. Anything that you're looking for in a crowd today, what are you going to do? You're going to Google it.
That's tech.
Right? That's tech. You're going to go on Instagram and listen to your favorite influencer. The reason why that platform exists is technology, right? All these photographers that exist today. I mean, I'm sitting in a room where there's not a piece of analog kit, maybe other than your headphones, that plugs into your digital amplifier, right? So again, really, it's all about how you use the tools we have to enable business growth, enable development, right? And that's where the real question now becomes interesting. How are companies, how is government coming together to make sure that we're using all these tools to build efficient systems to ensure that we can really develop and grow?
It's true.
Because we have too many young people who are way too smart, who are now providing services outside of Ghana, right? Because for some strange reason, we can't seem to provide them work or viable employment at home.
Oh, wow. I mean, that is a true picture that you've painted. What does ESAL do? If I could come to home. My name is Hound, by the way, and so he just took my A and replaced it with an O. Yeah.
This is the original one.
Okay. I thought A comes before an O in the alphabet. So anyway, I mean, you have it. Yeah. So I mean, what do you see coming from your end? What are you seeing in terms of the major challenges? How are we, like he said, how are we not being able to, carry this tech thing and use it to produce jobs for our people? Whilst he said the people are there, the smartness is there, the everything is there for us to.
Look,
why are we struggling?
I'll let Augustine answer this, like you rightly said. But truth be told, and this is not a job, right? We are probably one of the few organizations that are taking advantage of these opportunities and creating the jobs. So I'll let Augustine talk a little bit
but
about
first of all, he's going to tell me what ESAL
Well,
does.
And then that will explain.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Okay, so ESAL is a business processing outsourcing company, a business process outsourcing company. What we do is basically to take a part of your business. It could be a front end, back end, whatever part of your business that you may or may not be struggling with, a part of your business that will make more sense to outsource. We take that and say, look, you've done enough, we'll take it from here, and we take it in, we treat it like it's our own business. We basically handle it for you and say, take a seat back, we will handle this for you.
Do what is
important to you,
and then leave the rest
to us. So things like customer care, call centers, things that aren't exactly the core of your business. Give it to us, we'll handle it professionally. And if you've ever had to call the ECG call center, you have spoken with us, because ESAL handles the ECG call center.
Okay.
Yes, and a lot of the feedback we get is that it's very professional, and ECG is very happy with us.
So it's really not ECG guys we are talking to.
No, it's
essence,
ECG.
No, in essence, it is ECG, because we become
ECG.
ECG.
Okay.
When anyone that partners with us, look, we've done telcos before, we've done financial services, we've done insurance companies. We do everything from, like, we'll handle incoming calls, we do outbound sales, and at the end of the day, we essentially become that entity. And how do we do that? We recruit young, dynamic people that we pass through a very aggressive sensitization and training program called the Work Readiness Program, which is great. Constantly, we're rolling out new people. And this is something that doesn't just impact Ghana. We actually also bring in young people from our Francophone neighbors, even as far as Equatorial Guinea, so that we can provide multilingual services in French, in Spanish, because that's what people need, in Portuguese. I mean, it goes on. We do Wolof, we do Yoruba, we do all the Ghanaian languages, because you never know who's going to call about a service. And believe it or not, a lot of times, even when people can speak English, when they call, sometimes it is more impactful when you're speaking to them in a language that they feel more comfortable with,
Yeah.
or it makes them feel more at home, right? So we're able to do this. We do this for local companies and also for international companies. And by doing that, we create employment, we build capacity of young people, and this is a company that's been in existence for almost 20 years.
ESA.
E-Services Africa Limited. It started out essentially doing a lot of the hardware type things that you know about, connectivity. Actually, we got into this space because the founder and his team at the time, Mr. Kojo Hayford, Anon, and all the other great people in the business, they essentially realized the opportunities that would come from pivoting out of building, communications-based technology solutions to actually delivering the services that their buildings were going to deliver.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, thousands of people have come through our business. We hire more than 350 people today. They're not, it doesn't sound that big, but if you think about it,
It doesn't sound big?
Look, I used to work at a telco that hired thousands of people. Right?
I know, yeah.
But the reality is that if you think about our aspirations, 350 is nothing.
Yeah.
But we're looking at, in the next decade that we would have hit 10,000.
Joanna, let me come to you. At this event, you had exhibitors or participants from all over. Who were some of the... so were there innovations being displayed at this event?
100%, yeah.
What were some of the most exciting stuff that you came across at this year's event?
So firstly, I'd like to say that innovation has no age limit. And we actually had some students that were from the Africa Science Academy, Blue Crest University College, that were showcasing some of the innovations that they've been working on. So we're talking about, teenagers, right? We also had, people showcasing what they're doing with AI in regards to health and delivering health outcomes, leveraging new emerging technologies like AI. We had a whole host of exhibitors, ESAL being one of them, Turntable, and the overall event was headline sponsored by the Old Mutual Ghana.
Okay.
So if you understand, obviously, Old Mutual Ghana, a legacy business, but they are looking at how to sort of transform their business using innovative solutions and working with startups to help with developing sort of their fintech and insurance offerings. So we had a huge range of different organizations, big, small, startups, students, and I think one thing Akoso always says, that tech in Ghana is quite simple. It's tech and it's Ghana, right?
Okay.
And so it covers the whole spectrum: health tech, AI, fintech, edtech, agri-tech. So you would have seen, examples of organizations across all of those different disciplines at the conference.
You walk away from a conference like that and you're totally convinced that we're doing the right thing as a country?
I think there's an immense amount of talent, and there are people that are not just talking about it, they're actioning and they're doing it. And I think the conference is a real eye-opener for anyone that attends to see what's going on in the country. And, it's phenomenal, it's inspirational. And that's the whole idea around it. I think to take it back, right, as I mentioned, Akoso started Tech in Ghana in 2017. And at that time, there was a lot of talk about technology, but happening, sort of, evolving and growing on the continent. But it's very much focused on, the players that we kind of hear about a lot: Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa. But she knew there was a lot going on in Ghana. It's just that no one was talking about it,
Okay.
or no one was bringing everyone together. And so that's how sort of Tech in Ghana was birthed. And the London element of it is to showcase what's happening in Ghana to an international audience.
Okay.
Right, so people that might be able to partner, people that might be able to invest. So it's not just about us being in Ghana and talking about what's happening here, yes, but it's also about showcasing what's happening in Ghana to the world.
Okay. If I were to ask, maybe Victor should help me out here. what can we do more as a country? If we have to become Africa's Silicon Valley, what do we have to do as a country?
We need to encourage collaboration.
Okay.
Number
Encourage
one, collaboration
Okay.
across the board. You know, too many people are trying to do the same thing. And you know, honestly, this is a uniquely, well, I don't think it's uniquely Ghanaian, but it's a Ghanaian problem. Like, I remember very clearly the first comm centers. Right?
We all did some.
Right?
Yeah.
And think about it.
We all did some.
We first saw the first comm center, we were excited, then someone got jealous and opened a comm center, what? Right next to it.
Yeah, we all
And
did
then
some.
right next to it. And
Yeah.
what did we do? We collapsed the whole business. Right? The most innovative thing I saw was how my barber, I grew up in Latibia Koshini and Nkrumah Flats. My barber now was like, oh, comm center, you know, I'll do this, Matonwe. So at least he brought a little bit of innovation to it.
Yeah.
And he literally was the only one who survived. All the 3 or 4 other guys collapsed.
Because we were just doing comm
We're just
center.
doing comm center. We don't innovate. We need to learn. Like, there's so much information out there. How did the Japanese survive? They didn't just copy. They copied and they made it better.
Okay.
How do we innovate? We have we have tech infrastructure. We actually have a university called the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
That's Mama Mata. Are you going to say anything negative about us?
No, I'm not. What
Uh-huh.
I'm saying is that Nkrumah is turning in his grave today because why? There's so much greatness that could come out of that university. And I blame my generation because now it's my generation. Before I used to blame my mother's generation, right? But the problem is that we haven't asked people to take the risk, make the mistakes. We're always asking people to be safe, stay your lane, right? Because if you don't innovate, what is it that we're giving out? You look at all the investments that have come into Africa. What are these foreign guys investing in? They're investing in businesses that look like businesses that they've done already in their
And so
countries,
it's safer.
right? It's not just safer. It's because they know what they want from us.
Okay.
Why are they all coming for payment systems? So that the money can flow out.
Back to base.
It's almost like the same development agenda that we hear about. Oh, we're giving you money, but you must give the money, the contract to a company that we are telling you to give it to. We need to collaborate more. We need to challenge ourselves, right? We really need to challenge
You
ourselves.
think even in the area of
innovate.
innovation, our people are not being, they are not being daring enough?
Let me tell you something. If you think about Facebook videos that we've seen about people being innovative and everything, why is it that most of the time, excuse me for using this term, but it's the bottom of the pyramid people that we see that we're in awe of? The guy who's never had a chance to travel is the one who's building a car from spare parts, right? Because all of a sudden his mind isn't clouded, he hasn't been muddled. So he's actually the one who's innovating. So those of us that have had all this exposure and opportunity, why is that we are not taking that and saying, this thing that instead I've given so much money to somebody else for, how have I made it better? How have I made, in what way has any African made the smartphone better? And that is the problem, is that we need to create an environment where these beautiful minds, because we all hear the stories, Ghanaians, Nigerians, who are sitting in NASA, sitting here, and we're applauding them. But maybe the real genius is in Kukuntum.
Okay.
And why are we not figuring out how to tap into that? We don't have the time. Everyone is competing for the limited resources. And hopefully through like platforms like this, look, it was wonderful. There was this young girl at, there was a beautiful tribute to, may he rest in perfect peace, Herman Chinnery Hesse,
Okay.
you know, founder of Soft Try.
Soft Try.
Really touching thing. I mean, I knew Herman a little, great guy. There's a young girl who, had a whole panel where his son was there and one of his co-founders was on stage. And this young girl from some school I'd never heard of, African Science Academy, right? Obviously a new academy, came there very boldly, came to say, what opportunities do you have for young ladies in your business? And I was just sitting there thinking that, yeah, that's the question you should be asking. But she shouldn't just be asking this on the panel of Soft. She should be asking this of her country. Like, what opportunities are we creating for her? Because how many people at her age, she must have been, what, 10 maybe? Yeah. Oh, yeah, 10. Yeah. How many people do you, at that age, the boldness to come in? I saw people on stage that I've known for years, in their 30s, in their 40s, who were trembling to speak. This girl came there and asked this question, not afraid of being like laughed at or whatever. These are the people that are our future. And you know what? If we don't start changing the paradigm, and for me, the paradigm is not like 5G, it's not whatever. It is allowing and giving them the space to innovate, to think freely, and to take these sorts of risks and to celebrate them, for them to know that they have value and they have something to add in the world. That's what we're lacking.
And I jump in there quickly just to say that that's the uniqueness of the conference, right?
Yeah.
We have a plethora of people across various industries. You know, as I mentioned, we had the British High Commissioner for Ghana, and we have young students from the African Science Academy, Blue Crest University College, and that's the uniqueness of the conference. Is that everyone is involved. We see everyone as a key stakeholder within the tech ecosystem, and it's, you know, we have volunteers, we have students, and that support with the execution. We have founders, we have investors, and so it's a level playing field, so that young girl can stand up and ask that question.
Yeah. Government, academia, industry. Who should initiate or who should bear the brunt of this call you are pushing out there?
It doesn't matter. Somebody has to start. I mean, for me, you see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, in every market, it's a different play, right? In some markets, government has gone whole hog, right, to take the lead. Recently, I actually saw sort of like a league table about economies that actually are investing in Bitcoin. Like UK is probably number 7. And it blew my mind that the country that seems to be pushing back the most, which is the US, on Bitcoin, holds almost $1 trillion in Bitcoin. And meanwhile, they're the same one who is like pushing against, I think, is it Venezuela for benchmarking their entire economy.
El Salvador.
Thank you, El Salvador. But look at what Nigeria is doing. You know, in the midst of us always doing our Ghana, Nigeria, Jollof Wars, and I tell my Nigerian brothers and sisters all the time that they're their own worst enemy, because the things that happen in Niger, and not just in Lagos, sometimes emboldened by decisions taken from the government. With all the inefficiencies and stuff, they have ministers specific for particular agendas that drive things. Nigeria has one of the only banking systems that supports ATM transactions using blockchain technology in the world. It's a system that the South Africans wanted to implement, but they couldn't figure it out. And a Nigerian company has done this. Right? So depending on where you are, different players will move it. We cannot sit here and ascribe that, it is only government's job. Because at the end of the day, each of these pillars that you've mentioned are all run by people. And whether we like it or not, it is at the heart of it, it is that, like, you have agendas, you have, all these things that you want to drive, but if you don't have the will of the individuals and the proper leadership, it's not going to happen. So for me, honestly, I think everybody who really cares about this should do something, move in one direction. And because, hopefully by the grace of God, we will somehow meet somewhere and move the thing forward, because there's no formula.
We shouldn't wait for anybody to, just do something.
Yes.
Even if you're in your room today, you're listening to us, pick something, begin to do something.
We live in an era where, look, I played piano for almost 8 years and I couldn't do anything. About 2 months ago, I decided that, I want to start learning music again. And I've started. How? YouTube. It's that simple.
Mr. Ho.
Yes, sir.
You have hope for your people in terms of we taking this tech into the next level?
Yes. So one of the things at the conference that hit me very hard was a company in Kumasi, grown in Kumasi, based in Kumasi, lives in Kumasi, a medical company. They are one of the pioneers of very interesting testing technology that has not been done anywhere in the world. The CEO of the company came and had a very interesting, and to be honest, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. And when he talked about the partnerships that they've had worldwide for a company that interestingly isn't based in Accra, because in Ghana everybody thinks Ghana is Accra.
It must be Accra.
And they came up with testing technology that traditionally would take a week, 2 weeks. 20 minutes you have your results, and it's that kind of thing that inspires me personally. Okay. So to be honest, I walked into the conference, with all this brouhaha about elections coming up and all that. I came to the conference, tuned out of everything that was outside, and left there with hope, with inspiration that there's hope for the country. Because outside of all the NDC, NPP, and all the economic frustrations and all the things that are going on out there, in little ways, in corners everywhere in the country, we may not see it because we don't get the opportunity, but then platforms like Tech in Ghana will bring these things out, and that truly there is hope for the country.
Augustine Home says there is hope for this country. I want to believe that. That's why we wake up every morning, come here and give you 4 hours of our time. Joanna, anything you want to leave with us as we wrap up?
Yeah, just to kind of, let everyone know that Tech in Ghana will be happening, the London edition, on the 10th of June, 2025, as part of London Tech Week. So if you're interested, go online, techinghanaconference.com, and you can register your interest for the next edition, which is in London. And also to say the next Tech in Ghana happening in Ghana will be heading to Kumasi. So for the first time. So we've been in Accra this whole time, but next year we will be in Kumasi. Yeah, that's it.
Victor Bannerman, Chief Strategy Officer, ESAL, you have the last word on this.
It's been an honor to be to take advantage of this great platform, Tech in Ghana. I mean, even being here today, it's because we were exhibitors at Tech in Ghana. I want to give kudos to Akosiano Bill and her team. Dymax is their lead marketing guys, who also happen to be our marketing guys. So, and I'm going to give them a big up here. But I mean, it's wonderful to see women doing powerful things. And we should see more of that. I think that more people should be participating and learning about Tech in Ghana. I'm sure Tech in Ghana is going to be much, much bigger than just these 2 events. And it should become part of the DNA of the technology ecosystem in this country. I want to encourage all the people listening out there that, you are part of the change, and we can't be left behind. And if we don't also want to find ourselves only using things that other people have built, let us participate. Even if we don't build it, let us participate and tell them what we need. And you do that by having a voice. So thank you for this opportunity and giving us a voice today. Again, congratulations, Tech in Ghana. ESAL is super excited. Look at us. Look up us online, esalsolutions.com. Check us out on LinkedIn. We literally are probably hiring almost every month. So if you have some young people out there are looking for a job, no joke, like, we're constantly looking for good young people. It's a great place to start your career and learn more about working in general, because that's something that tends to be lacking from our standard education. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. His name is Victor Bannerman. He's the Chief Strategy Officer of ESAL. Joined in the studio by Augustine Home. He's a digital marketing lead still at ESAL. And Joanna Still is organizer Tech in Ghana. And managing partner, DMAX. It's been one of those Fridays. Very power-packed. Very, very back-to-back as well. We spoke shoes. Now we spoke in tech. And in the words of Victor Bannerman, be the change. You go start something. Please do something right now. Just go online, go start, get yourself into trouble. Sometimes we played it too safe over the years, and that is where we are. I understand that. grew up in the system like that. But anyway, all too soon, time is up. About 4 minutes to the top of the hour. Coming up at 10 is NYA, the brand, coming your way with the brighter side. You know NYA, the brand. She's the queen of the mid-morning, coming to give you the very best in conversation and also in good music to help you through your late breakfast, your brunch, your lunch, and everything in between. What else can I say? It's been that kind of week, and I told you the next Friday, it'll be a day before the day that we would decide. So stay safe over this weekend. Whatever you do, as always, let me leave you with my only advice. Pray like it only depends on God, but please, when you work like it only depends on you. Jerry Ham, I'm out for the week.